Okay, welcome to a new episode of Sean Resolute. Today is the 1 year anniversary video of my Achilles rupture. Over a year ago, if you don't know, I ruptured my Achilles playing on a field just like this. So I ruptured my Achilles just before Thanksgiving in November, but didn't get the surgery until the 9th of December. So a couple of weeks ago marked the 1 year anniversary when I had the surgery. I thought it'd be nice to wrap up the 1 year of recovery with a little video and close it out. So again, if you are new to the channel and you don't know, I've been documenting my recovery now for a year. I've done loads of shorts on exercises that I was doing, and then I've done longer form videos. It was pretty much every week at the beginning, then we went to every month at around, I think it was around 6 months. And yeah, I think I'm going to do this video, and I'm going to do another video soon, which is going to be looking at different sort of exercises. And what I want to try and do with that video is film the Achilles, so how it looks compared to, so I injured my right one and how it compares to the left one, which is the uninjured side. And yeah, I'll go through some like clean and jerks, squats, kicking a football, and just stuff like that. And then you can see how it looks 1 year later. And I would say I've had a pretty sort of successful recovery. I've had to work hard with the recovery, but yeah, it's feeling pretty good. Okay, so I filmed a video, 10 and 11 month update video a few weeks back now, uploaded it. So what's changed? Sort of since then, I think the biggest thing now is, and I spoke about this slightly, was it was like my Achilles had come back online. Really difficult to explain, but it like them fine details, like handwriting, you know, where if you've injured your fingers or your hand or your wrist, you can still like hold the pen, you can still like make an S, but like with handwriting, it's very like intricate, isn't it, to get that motor skill. Now that's what has, using that sort of analogy, that's kind of what's happened with my Achilles. And this wasn't something I noticed until I was like juggling a ball, keep ups or whatever you call it, from wherever you're from. I was coaching, been coaching, you know, the past 6 weeks, and when you're on the touchline and the ball comes to you, I have, you know, I would always sort of do some like keep ups, especially when it gets colder, just keep warm, and you know, you just subconsciously do it. Now I found that I wasn't really able to do it. You know, my touch, it would just like fly off. So for a long time I put it down to like the footwear that I was wearing, because I was wearing the Hoka shoes, or I was wearing these like Solomon, you know, sort of cross-country type trail running shoe. So I just put it down to that. And then recently, in the past month, all of a sudden I've been able to, like, everything's just worked. And then that's also gone into like sprinting, running, changing direction, and even in the gym doing sort of like CrossFit stuff, clean and jerks. Something's just like twigged, or really difficult to explain. And but it just feels normal. Like my brain, when I'm thinking about it, doesn't sort of think of it as injured, or I have to like move it in a different way. Another example would be like walking down steps. That's been like a big issue for a number of reasons, but I'd walk down steps, and I'd have to definitely hold on to a handrail, and there was, you know, if you filmed it, there would have been a definite difference between how my sort of left side was negotiating the steps and my right side. But again, that's now gone. So which is really good. So if you are with your Achilles, obviously I was still doing a lot of stuff. I was able, you know, still able to kick a ball around and stuff like that. But it wasn't until that sort of 11-month mark to 1 year before, I'm just going to say, like, the intelligence in it. Yeah, again, really difficult to explain, but you know when it like comes back on. And the other thing with that, just really quickly, it's probably about 5-10 minutes. I had this weird sensation in my Achilles when I was walking, and yeah, it was bizarre. It felt like something really tight loosening, and there was like a little bit of, not a tingly tight pain, but almost like tape getting released, like duct tape or scotch tape, just like pulling off it. So I don't know if that was something to do with it just like loosened, but yeah, really strange. Anyway, all right, before you say anything, yeah, I've got a pink eye. I lost a bet with my younger team. If they won a game, that I would dye my hair pink, and they won, so I dye my hair pink. It's fading out a little bit now, so I'll be shaving it soon enough. Okay, so also what I wanted to talk about was fear. So I've brought this up a few times on the channel. Again, another tricky one to discuss, but leading up to that 1 year anniversary, so it was a Saturday, so 9th of December was the day, and I was very aware of that day. Now, what I was doing leading up to that, on the Thursday, I played my first time wearing football boots, or cleats if you're in America. And it was in practice. I only had like low numbers with my sort of U17s team, and I put on my boots for the first time since the injury, which in itself was kind of a weird feeling. I didn't think it was going to bother me like it did, and then the drive to the field, it was like a weird sort of nervous, and then, you know, then you're warming up, and your brain just goes from being absolutely normal to then, you know, like, oh, you know, imagine if you snapped your Achilles again, if you re-ruptured 1 year after you've done all this work, and you re-rupture doing this, and you're back to square one. So your brain's just thinking this, and it's honestly, it's just torture. But then you play and you forget about it. But then every now and again it just like creeps in. So that happened on the Thursday. But I played and it was fine. Again, I did a little short of me doing this. Just across the road here. Yeah, I did a little short and everything, and it was good. I enjoyed it. But then on the Friday, so the 8th of December, I was refereeing a U19s game. It was obviously on the field, and the temperature dropped. So it was in and around 35, freezing Fahrenheit. And sort of a little bit of like mist came in, and got to about 75 minutes, and this is when I ruptured my Achilles. When I was playing, it was around the 75th minute. Now what happened was, the middle of the field opened up. There was like a counter attack. I've turned around, was running through that middle, and I'd also done a workout in the day because I wasn't planning on refereeing that evening. It was like a last minute thing, so my legs were gone a little bit, and then I was running through, and what started to happen then is you become hyper aware of your Achilles. You know, a similar deal to if you know, you don't think about your fingers, but then if you all of a sudden, if I said like, oh, think of your index finger, for instance, you know, you can start to feel it a little bit. So the same thing was happening with my Achilles, and what I ended up doing was I just I took my foot off the gas a little bit with the running. The game wasn't really a super high tense game. But yeah, the same thing goes through your head. It's like, oh, could you imagine 1 year re-rupturing? And then, yeah, Saturday was the same thing. I was reffing 10 o'clock in the morning. At this point, I've played Thursday, worked out and refereed 90 minutes on the Friday, and then I'm refereeing again in the morning. And this Saturday one is 1 year. And yeah, you're just paranoid. You're just paranoid of re-rupturing, or I was. So my point is, like, you know, if this happens to you, I think it's important to talk about, because it definitely can get the better of you. It can be a little bit debilitating and frustrating. But what I did and how I've sort of managed this, because it's happened for the year, it wasn't just the other week. The difference with it being the other week is, you know, I'm pretty much recovered. You know, where at the start, obviously, you're going to be worried because you're not fully fit, and it's still like a high risk of re-injury. So what I've done from the start with this, and to sort of manage that, is I've been like I try to be really honest with myself in terms of rehabilitation. So to give you an example, if I was like, you know, 3 months in and I'm doing a workout that has box jumps, and that, you know, I'm doing 20 box jumps. Now that is really high risk because I've not done any of the rehab to be able to do that safely. So, you know, you should be, like, your brain should be telling you, like, this is you know, a little bit dangerous. So with, you know, using the box jumps again as the example, I started with doing, you know, less than an inch on the plates, the small plates, the 10-pound plates, and then slowly built that height up. But I was only doing like one rep, so I would do 1 rep at the small height. Then I would build that up where I was doing a little bit of volume, you know, 5 or 10. When I got comfortable with that, then I added like a little bit more height, and then did a little bit more volume, and, you know, so on and so on and so on. And over time, you get to the point where when you're doing the 20 box jumps at, you know, 24 inches, you're looking at it and going, well, I've done months of work to build up to that. And that was the same with the other week when I was reffing. What I had to tell myself was, you know, I wasn't just running 90 minutes for the first time. I've built up the running, started running where I was just doing like 50 yards, you know, then it's like 400 meters, and then I did like my first 5k, and then I've done the 5k over and over again. I've done the 5k over and over and got a little bit quicker. You know, then I started reffing, but it was like for an hour, you know. So this is what then gives you the confidence to kind of override your brain and that fear. That was slightly a long-winded way of putting it, but I think it's important to talk about. Okay, and the last thing that I wanted to mention today, again, another important one: can you feel the Achilles? Is there still pain? Is it still stiff in the morning? You know, all that stuff. And the answer to that is pain. No, but again, I've never really had any pain with the Achilles. Discomfort, yeah, but pain, you know, even like the surgery and after the surgery, I never had any pain, thankfully. I was lucky, because I know a lot of people do. I don't know why that was, but you know, I'm obviously not complaining. Discomfort and tightness, absolutely. Even now, you might not want to hear this, but it is like I can feel it, and for me it feels at just below my calf, and then like in the sort of the muscle. And since it's like cooled down here in Seattle, you know, I can feel it more. I did heavy cleans the other day, and it was like 215 pounds, heaviest I've lifted, and I could definitely feel that the next day. Again, not in a bad way, it's just tight. So again, I've been doing, you know, you do the scrapers and like self-massage, baths, stretching, and then it loosens off and it's no issue. Again, my big thing with the tightness and stiffness and stuff like that has been, you know, you do your thing. Again, similar to, you know, the box jumps analogy, you do it and then you assess, you see how you feel afterwards, see how you feel in the morning. If you need a rest, you have a rest, and then you get back at it. Again, just doing stuff to help with that mobility, you know, stretching, using like the scrapers I've spoke about have really helped me just loosen and let everything glide. But yeah, so I think that's about it. That's, yeah, 1 year, really sort of happy. In some ways it's like flown by, other ways, you know, it's when I look at everything that I've done, it's been a long year. Yeah, these milestones, you do have these like tricky psychological areas, but you've just got to just keep doing your best, keep moving. And yeah, if you're feeling something, and like certainly mentally, yeah, just don't panic. All right, like I said, I'm gonna do this video soon where I'm gonna just like show you basically my Achilles, going through the movements so you can see how it feels after, or how it looks after a year, and how it's functioning. All right, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, much appreciated, and I will be back soon. Bye bye.